Welcome to the 5 Minutes Learning YouTube channel. Do you know? Always, Ariel, Bounty, Charmin, Crest, Dawn, Downy, Fairy, Febreze, Gain, Gillette, Head & Shoulders, Olay, Oral-B, Pampers, Pantene, Tide, and Vicks. What do these names have in common? They are the standout brands in Procter & Gamble's portfolio, each generating over $1 billion in revenue in 2019. These superstars are part of a broader lineup of 66 active brands in home goods and personal hygiene. Procter & Gamble, P&G, was founded in 1837 by brothers-in-law David Procter and William Gamble. The company has been a dominant force in consumer brands ever since landing its first contract to provide soap and candles to the Union forces during the Civil War. Over the years, P&G has shaped the fields of consumer marketing and brand building through innovative advertising and mass media campaigns. Simply put, P&G is the firm to beat in the consumer goods industry. Despite its long-standing success, P&G is not resting on its laurels. The company is acutely aware of the need to continually innovate and stay ahead in a highly competitive market. Today, we will explore how Procter & Gamble is navigating industry disruption by disrupting from within. This video will delve into P&G's lean innovation transformation and how this mature, established firm is still sweating the details and striving to remain competitive in its space. The challenge of innovation at P&G. Despite having an incredible R&D budget and a massive track record of breakthrough innovations, Procter & Gamble faces significant challenges when it comes to innovation. This raises an important question. Why is it so difficult for P&G to innovate? One major issue is the cultural environment at P&G. Employees often fear taking risks. This risk-averse culture can prevent the kind of bold thinking necessary for breakthrough innovations. When people are afraid of failure, they tend to stick to safe, incremental improvements rather than pursuing transformative ideas. Another challenge lies in P&G's systems and processes. Funding and performance management systems at P&G don't always incentivize breakthrough innovation. The focus is often on short-term results and efficiency, which can hinder long-term, game-changing projects. Performance metrics may prioritize maintaining existing product lines and incremental improvements rather than encouraging the pursuit of groundbreaking ideas. Moreover, the competitive landscape is also shifting. New direct-to-consumer competitors are emerging, and these companies are much savvier with digital technologies. They can quickly adapt to market trends and consumer preferences, posing a significant threat to established players like P&G. These new competitors are agile and innovative, leveraging digital platforms to connect directly with consumers, which adds pressure on P&G to keep up. As we analyze these challenges, they quickly generate a long list of interconnected issues. It's tough to pinpoint the root cause of why innovation is challenging at P&G today. This complexity is a common scenario that leaders face. This scenario highlights a typical challenge for leaders: diagnosing and addressing multifaceted problems in large, established organizations. Understanding these challenges is the first step toward finding solutions. In the next section of this video, we'll explore the strategies they employed to foster a culture of innovation, adapt their systems and processes, and respond to the competitive pressures of a rapidly evolving market. Through this exploration, we'll uncover valuable lessons for any organization facing similar challenges in their innovation journey. Historic strengths becoming liabilities. Procter & Gamble is an iconic American company with over 100 years of history and a formidable record of innovation. However, they found themselves in a position where their historic strengths had turned into liabilities. This situation is common for incumbent firms, especially when their industry is transformed by digital technologies. This video delves into how leaders can drive change in such scenarios and how work changes for employees on the ground, requiring new mindsets and capabilities. P&G's environment was shifting rapidly. Despite their massive R&D budget, incredible scale, excellence in mass media advertising, and strong relationships with retailers like Target and Walmart, they faced significant challenges. Internally, their innovation processes were slow, which was acceptable in the past but not in the fast-changing modern market. Historically, P&G's innovation process was quite slow and sequential. The process involved R&D developing ideas in the lab, sometimes relying on consumer focus groups, and then passing these ideas to marketing, which in turn handed them over to sales. This method was very siloed and took years to complete, which was adequate back in the day but is now outdated. P&G struggled because the industry was changing much faster, and they faced newer competitors who were more agile and could innovate quickly. This traditional approach to innovation simply couldn't keep up with the pace of change in the market. To address these challenges, P&G needed to transform their approach to innovation. They had to shift from their slow, sequential processes to more agile, cross-functional teams that could innovate quickly and effectively. This transformation required not only changes in processes but also changes in mindsets and capabilities among employees. P&G is competing on experiences, not just products. One of the major shifts in the industry that P&G had to contend with was the transition from competing on products to competing on experiences. This shift happened around the time they started analyzing the case. P&G, a company that had long dominated with technically superior products, suddenly found itself in a new competitive landscape. A prime example is P&G's experience in the razor business. For decades, they had dominated this market by continually improving their razors incrementally. Their products were technically superior, and customers kept buying them. However, this business model was disrupted by a new player, Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club was a direct-to-consumer company that fundamentally changed the game. Instead of just selling razors, they offered a subscription model. They identified a significant pain point: running out of razors and needing to rush to the store. Dollar Shave Club solved this by delivering razors directly to customers on a subscription basis, making the purchasing process frictionless. Dollar Shave Club went further by collecting data on their customers to offer personalized products. They provided pre-shave and after-shave products tailored to individual needs, along with customized razors. They excelled in using social media to advertise their brand and gather consumer data. This approach allowed them to create a holistic, personalized experience for their customers. P&G, which had long competed against other large consumer packaged goods companies, found themselves up against a nimble, focused, and agile competitor. Dollar Shave Club's innovative approach highlighted a broader industry shift that P&G had to grapple with. The competition was no longer just about having the best product, it was about creating the best overall experience. This marked a significant change for P&G. Historically, they had been competing with other large CPG companies like themselves. Now, they had to adapt to compete with smaller, more agile companies that excelled at using digital technologies and creating seamless, personalized customer experiences. This new competitive landscape required P&G to rethink their strategies and find new ways to innovate and remain relevant. The culture at P&G, strengths and challenges. Procter & Gamble is a massive organization with around 100,000 employees worldwide. Despite its size, it has a strong sense of community, with many employees staying for years. Based in Cincinnati, P&G is known for its healthy culture, where employees take immense pride in the iconic brands they've produced and nurtured over time. However, fostering a culture of innovation at P&G presented some challenges. One major issue was the fear of failure. This fear was widespread among employees because the people who typically got promoted were those excelling at execution and operations, rather than those taking risks with new ideas. The company's innovation process was heavy and slow, with product launches taking many years and involving millions of dollars. Failing in such a high-stakes environment was daunting and very public, leading to a general reluctance to experiment and innovate. Around the time of the recession, P&G faced financial difficulties and pressure from an activist investor. These factors created a short-term focus within the company. Employees became more concerned with immediate results and less about long-term innovation and the future direction of their product categories. This shift in focus hindered the company's ability to think ahead and innovate in new categories. Another challenge was P&G's decentralized organizational structure. The company is divided into various business units based on product categories, such as fabric care, hair care, and feminine care. Each BU operates somewhat independently, with its own leadership. This siloed structure made it difficult to implement enterprise-wide solutions and foster cohesive innovation strategies across the company. The concept of irresistible superiority was introduced to address these challenges. This concept focuses on creating a product experience so superior that customers find it difficult to switch to competitors. It's not just about having a technically superior product but also about delivering an exceptional overall experience, including packaging, the purchase experience, and marketing. The idea of irresistible superiority aimed to understand the factors behind P&G's billion-dollar brands. They wanted to identify what made these brands so compelling that consumers felt an emotional connection to them. By examining these factors, they strove to ensure that most of P&G's innovations met this high standard, emphasizing the importance of creating an emotional bond with consumers through superior product experiences. Transforming innovation from concept to delivery. When the idea of irresistible superiority was introduced, it quickly gained support from the senior team at P&G. Everyone loved the idea of creating innovations and products that were irresistibly superior. However, they soon realized that their current setup wasn't designed to achieve this. A key part of creating a holistic, personalized experience involves breaking down silos and speeding up processes, which wasn't happening with their existing slow and isolated approach. They needed more engagement with consumers and a more adaptive product development process. To operationalize this new approach, the CTO of P&G, Kathy Fish, and the CMO of P&G, Mark Pritchard, developed a program called GrowthWorks. The philosophy behind GrowthWorks is similar to lean innovation or lean startup methodologies. The basic idea is to encourage constant, rapid, and cost-effective experimentation. This involves falling in love with problems rather than solutions, continually testing assumptions with real customers, and using a metered approach to funding. Instead of pouring large sums of money into an idea before knowing if it will work, funds are distributed over time based on progress and learning. One of the challenges they faced was that they couldn't force the business units to adopt this new way of working due to their position within the company. Therefore, GrowthWorks was designed to be a voluntary program where business units could choose to participate. The idea was to create an enabling capability that encouraged new ways of working without imposing it on everyone. A cornerstone of GrowthWorks was the creation of small, multifunctional teams, each dedicated to solving a specific problem. These teams, limited to 3 members, were referred to as founders. They were given ownership of a particular problem that consumers wanted solved and were tasked with running experiments to find innovative solutions. This approach was a significant departure from P&G's traditional, slower innovation processes and allowed for more agility and focus. To support these multifunctional teams, GrowthWorks introduced growth boards within each business unit. These boards consisted of leaders from the business unit who provided coaching and metered funding to the teams. This structure ensured that the teams had the necessary support and resources to experiment and innovate effectively. The success of GrowthWorks was bolstered by strong support from P&G's leadership, including the CEO, David Taylor. This top-down support was crucial in fostering a culture that embraced experimentation and innovation across the company, creating the right environment for innovation. In the summer of 2016, around the launch of GrowthWorks, P&G's CEO took the senior team on an innovation trip to Silicon Valley. This trip energized the team with new ideas and lean methodologies, laying the groundwork for the upcoming changes. The senior team understood that there was a strong case for change, but the transition wasn't without risks. One significant challenge was the fear among employees about their careers. At P&G, innovation has traditionally been seen as risky. Employees were hesitant to join the new GrowthWorks teams because they feared failure could harm their career progression. To address this, the GrowthWorks team introduced a new career track. This track was prestigious and had a different set of metrics, focusing on learning and experimentation rather than short-term performance. Employees were rewarded for what they learned from their experiments, even if those experiments failed. This shift in metrics helped alleviate career concerns and encouraged more employees to participate. Despite the enthusiasm for the new ways of working, another challenge was that the leadership of the business units often lacked the capability to coach these new teams. To address this, P&G brought in a consulting firm called Bionic. Bionic helped coach the business leaders, enabling them to become effective sponsors and supporters of the GrowthWorks projects. An essential part of the new approach was the ability to kill projects that weren't working. Historically, P&G had avoided killing projects due to the potential negative impact on careers. However, the GrowthWorks philosophy emphasized the importance of rapid, cheap experimentation and the willingness to stop projects that weren't yielding results. This approach aimed to de-risk the process of innovation. Killing a project wasn't seen as a failure but as a necessary step to redirect resources to more promising areas. This cultural shift allowed the company to focus on solving problems rather than becoming attached to specific solutions. GrowthWorks encouraged teams to fall in love with problems, not solutions. This meant that if a solution didn't work out, teams would go back to the drawing board and try another approach to solve the same problem. By maintaining focus on the problem rather than the solution, teams could quickly move on from failed projects and continue innovating. This mindset helped normalize the idea that not all projects would succeed and that it was more important to keep experimenting and learning. Innovations from GrowthWorks. One of the most notable low-tech projects to emerge from GrowthWorks was the Forever Roll. This product was a giant roll of toilet paper designed to last significantly longer than regular rolls, reducing the frequency of purchases. Interestingly, this innovation came just before the pandemic, making it particularly timely and useful. The idea stemmed from consumer insights, showing how GrowthWorks aimed to solve real-world problems with practical solutions. On the high-tech end of the spectrum, GrowthWorks also produced some advanced products. One such innovation was a line of skincare products that used artificial intelligence. Users could take a selfie, and the AI would analyze their skin to determine their skin age. Based on this analysis, the system would recommend personalized skincare products. This project also integrated with social media, enhancing user engagement and product recommendations. The range of projects that came out of GrowthWorks was impressive. Within a short period, there were 130 different projects in the GrowthWorks portfolio. These projects spanned various business units and were at different stages of development. Some were in the validation phase, while others were being tested in the market. This diverse and dynamic portfolio highlighted GrowthWorks' success in fostering innovation across P&G. Key questions for leaders. As part of the GrowthWorks initiative, P&G collaborated with the consulting firm Bionic to coach business unit leaders on effectively supporting their innovation teams. The goal was to shift from a performance-focused mindset to one that emphasizes learning and development. Here are the 4 key questions leaders were instructed to ask their teams. 1. What did you learn in conducting an experiment? 2. How do you know? 3. What do you need to learn next? 4. How can I help? These questions encourage leaders to focus on the learning process rather than just the outcomes. By asking these questions, leaders position themselves as enablers, helping teams achieve their goals rather than dictating actions. This approach fosters a more supportive and innovative environment. These questions are not only valuable within the context of P&G's innovation teams but also have broader applications. Managers across various industries and projects can use these questions to guide their teams, encouraging a culture of continuous learning and development. One of the smartest moves P&G made was using external consultants to build internal capabilities. Instead of relying solely on outside advice, P&G focused on learning how to sustain these new practices themselves. This approach ensured that the knowledge and skills required to drive innovation were embedded within the organization, making the changes more sustainable in the long term. By implementing these strategies, P&G transformed its approach to innovation, empowering teams to experiment, learn, and adapt. This not only enhanced their ability to create valuable products but also fostered a culture of continuous improvement and resilience.